Right, so from all of us at Next Step Scholarships, welcome Jack Hanlon to the channel today. Thanks for your time, Jack.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Good. So Jack was a standout player and student in his time in New York, comfortable in central midfield or at the heart of defence, 4-year starter, and graduated in 2020 with a top GPA. So therefore, today we're just going to ask him a few questions about his experience, how he got on football-wise, educational-wise, and basically just pick his brain a little bit to give you guys a little bit more information. Since graduating, Jack still plays a high level of football as well, and currently works in marketing for a big firm in the middle of Manchester. So we're going to dive straight in, Jack. First of all, give us a little bit about yourself and your scholarship experience.
Yeah, indeed, mate. First of all, very good to see you. Good to have a catch up.
You too.
Bit about me, mate, where I came from. So I've come from Middlesbrough originally, up in the northeast, and I've obviously played football all my life to a decent level. Started kind of getting involved with men's football around kind of 15, 16, which is a young start, but it does prepare you well for the future, because it kind of, and you do realise once you get out to the States that the style of football over there is very different to what we have here in England. And England's a lot more physical and maybe a lot more long ball and a lot more direct. And it toughens you up, really. So started playing that around 15, 16. Went to college in England, like sixth form college. And then at 17, 18, started getting word about the opportunities to go to America. Always wanted to go to university, but obviously the opportunity to do it with a lot of the money paid for through a scholarship and playing obviously a sport that you love, and to go live in an amazing different environment was a no-brainer, really. So I had a bit of a different experience in terms of went through 2 different scholarship companies. The first one that approached me when I was in college turned out to be a bit of a rip-off, really. Turned out to be a bit of a dead end. And then fortunately, really fortunately for me, found a company that worked and got me to an amazing college in New York, which I'm sure we'll go into a little bit later. But I think, to touch on the scholarship point straight away, how important it is to find a company that you can trust and that are going to take care of you, have your best interests at heart, is really important.
Definitely. I agree, mate. Yeah, it's good you managed to find that. And did the company sort of stick with you for the whole 4 years? Your second?
Yes and no, yeah, mate. They did a good job in terms of helped me kind of pick me up from where the other company let me down. And for me, a big thing going out there was obviously, yes, playing at a high level and a good school, and the educational side of things. But the biggest thing for me, to be honest, Charlie, was location.
Yeah.
When you do start on the scholarship route and you start getting offers coming in, you're getting them from all over the country. And I think before you've lived in America, all you've heard of is names on a map. So you might have heard of New York or California or whatever, but you don't really understand what that means. And you're getting offers in from little places all over the country that you don't know too much about. And for me, all I had standing out in my head was location. So they did a really good job of getting me into a college in New York, which was fantastic. But I think to have that support throughout your 4 years, because a lot of people do 2 years and then transfer somewhere else, or go to community college and then transfer. So to have somebody like Next Step with you for 4 years, I think is vital, because they're taking care of you the whole way.
Definitely, yeah. And like you said, location's big, and obviously you were lucky enough to end up in New York, just above New York City at St. Thomas Aquinas College. How did you enjoy that? New York City, the big city. You enjoy everything about that, or?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely amazing. And I think, as I said, going into it, the location was my biggest thing, and that turned out to be the best thing as well. Yeah. Did all 4 years there. Did all 4 years in New York at St. Thomas. Met some absolutely amazing people. That's probably one of the best things about it, is the people you meet, like yourself, obviously. Then, the football side of it's amazing. But in terms of days out and nights out, you jump on a bus and you're in the middle of New York City. Yeah. It's like now I'm obviously back in the UK now, and you watch movies and TV shows, and half of them are set in Manhattan and Brooklyn and New York. And it's kind of a bit of it seems like a dream that you used to walk down those streets every day and it felt like nothing. So absolutely amazing place. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough.
I agree, mate. Probably one of the best locations you could have got. So just going to move on to sort of the football side of things. Obviously, a lot of players come from the UK. Obviously, football and education is the 2 reasons, but obviously we know football is the thing that get you a scholarship, and obviously big here in the UK. So players really look to pursue their careers in football through different things. So how would you find the football environment you're involved within in the US?
Yeah, it was, again, like I said, it was different. It was a wake-up call, because the way that we play in the UK, probably away from academy football, but in that kind of men's league, 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday, on always grass pitches for starters. That's one of the big differences. And the weather as well. So it's usually wet, rainy, soft, big tackles. The referees are a lot let a lot more go over here, let's say. And I think when you're used to getting elbowed in the face every time there's a set piece and people come from behind you and wiping out and the referee doesn't care, and you've got loads of nasty northern fans like shouting stuff like that. It's then different when you turn up in New York and it's every pitch is a beautiful 4G pitch. The facilities are always amazing because there's so much money in it over there. The coaching staff, you know, the colleges have multiple. It's not like you have a head coach. You have a head coach who has 3 coaches under him. You've got a physio team. You've got people looking after what you eat, what you drink. You know, pre-training, post-training, pre-game, post. Everything is tailored to making you perform to the best of your abilities. And I think it's probably as close as you can get to being professional without being professional. Yeah. Definitely the closest to academy football that you can be. So it was amazing. The football was fantastic. I mean, you know, in the 2 years we played together, the football was decent. We achieved some good things. Got the college to play off for the first time in God knows how many years. And we had quite a direct style. We probably played centre mid together a few times. I probably just kept giving you the ball every time we got it. But we had some good stuff, didn't we? It was good fun.
That's it, definitely. Yeah, and it's just the sort of the full-time environment, isn't it? You go in pre-season, you're there. You're not in classes yet, playing every day for 2 weeks, and you're literally treated like a professional playing every day of the week, which is much different to, obviously, even if you play a high level in the UK, you might train Tuesday, Thursday, and then play on Saturday. So,
yeah. It's even the travelling to the games and stuff like that, isn't it, mate? I mean, you've got an away game, and obviously America is so much bigger than England, and it's 2 hours away. You jump on a coach the night before, you get there in a nice hotel, team meal, team meetings, wake up in the morning, you know, breakfast, lunch, meal, everything is tailored towards, like I said, you perform at your best ability, and it's a great thing to be a part of, and best football in that environment that I don't think you ever will.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's some top insight, mate. So we stay on the footballing topic. Yeah. Obviously, I know you played college and did dabble into the NPSL as well, which is the 4th tier in the US system. So based off both of them, what would you say was your standout moment footballing wise while stateside?
There's a few great moments. I mean, what we achieved together at our college team for the couple of years you were there, obviously we got the playoffs twice in the 4 years, which was great. But I think if I have to look back on my whole 4 years of playing in the States, that NPSL team that you touched upon, I went and played for New York Athletic Club. Yeah. And the first game of the season, we played against New York Cosmos, you know, the New York Cosmos in front of 5,000 people. And again, obviously I was fortunate enough to link up with yourself on the pitch. And I remember even as walking out, you know, before kickoff, what was, like I said, 5,000 fans, full band in the crowd, drummers, flares going off, toilet paper being chucked on the pitch. Little girl singing the national anthem. Like, it was nuts, wasn't it? It was absolutely amazing. I mean, the standard, we got beat 2-0. I don't think I've ever come off a pitch losing 2-0 and felt happier. You know, we were like, I can't remember that I've just played in there. To play a historical team, I mean, the left back was like the captain of Slovenia, and I think they had like Pulisic up front or something like that, didn't they? It was amazing. They had, so it was amazing.
That's it. So yeah, so it means obviously the scholarship process has opened up doors inside college football and outside, and obviously, like you said there, you're playing against professional players, obviously professional football club in New York Cosmos. So I'm just going to hop over a little bit to educational side of things. Obviously, touch on what you're studying that. So how did you find the educational setting that you sort of were put into in New York at St Thomas there?
Yeah, it was very, very different the school system in England and different the university system in England as well. You obviously have I think what the big difference is, Charlie, is obviously in university in England you study one subject, and maybe through college you do 2 or 3. But when you're over there, you get a much broader like spectrum of subjects that you're doing, and you're in and out of classes, and you can pick your professors, you pick your classes, you pick your timetable. So it's a lot more in your hands. And obviously being a student athlete, when you're getting a decent scholarship and you're at a big school, all the education does come back to your soccer as well. It comes back to your team that you're playing with, and you play during the week, so you're in and out of classes all the time. And it's important to get a good mix, because at the end of the day, you're there to play football or soccer, and you're getting money for that. But at the end of the day, you want to leave with a degree, and you want to leave with a good GPA. And again, I was fortunate enough that the school I was at had a really prestigious reputation, great education system, and through good professors and good mentoring and good combination between athletics and academia, left with a really good GPA, and it was great, mate. Yeah, really good experience, really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously the GPA system over there, obviously you have to maintain 2.0 GPA to make sure you're playing. Obviously, so like you said, keeps you in good nick education wise. We know yourself, obviously working marketing now, study communications while you're there, marketing, things like that. Obviously, you did a bit of an intern with ESPN as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Or
yeah, that was a fantastic experience. In my senior year, I went and got an internship with ESPN. I was actually filming Division One college basketball games at New Jersey, NGIT, New Jersey, and that was a fantastic experience. I mean, big 10, 15,000 seat arena, working with the greatest professional teams at ESPN, learning so much about live broadcasting. It's not just basketball, but how that translates to soccer or NFL or basketball or whatever sport, just to get a bit of an insight into how those guys do it was really, really interesting.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Amazing stuff. And obviously the professors you're rubbing shoulders with as well. Like obviously, I know you took class, obviously sports marketing or sports media and things like that.
Yeah, indeed.
So, like Professor Durney, who's obviously worked in New York media and things like that. So, yeah, it's great. Obviously, you were lucky with the New York side of things, big sporting aspect out there. And so, coming away from the educational setting, what would you say is your biggest takeaway from the scholarship experience as a whole?
Yeah, so many great memories, great experiences, but probably the people you meet, the people you're friends with. I mean, the amazing thing about going to a university abroad and playing soccer abroad is you make friends from all over the world, especially in a global kind of location like New York. But I know it's the case across all colleges in America, really. But you know, I could go anywhere in the world now, across Europe or Australia, obviously all across America, and you've got mates everywhere. Especially in a sport like soccer, where they rely on recruiting people from all over. It's not the biggest sport in America.
Yeah.
You know, you really do meet some amazing people. And for me, that's the biggest takeaway, because that 4 years and that experience was incredible. And I can't recommend it enough to anybody who's thinking about it. But those people you meet, you'll have them as mates forever. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a big one for me.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think you're spot on there. So yeah, just finishing up. Last big question, really. Just tell us a little bit what you're up to now, obviously in work-wise, football-wise, and things like that, and how you think the scholarship system played a part in where you're at today.
Yeah. As you touched upon, mate, living in Manchester now, in the middle of Manchester, amazing city, loving it. COVID kind of, obviously, for people graduating around when I did in 2020, affected a lot of things, and I left New York before graduation. It all got a bit messy and ended up in Melbourne for a little bit, which is an amazing city, and then moved to Manchester. And I think that's one thing that the scholarship experience does for you as well, is it allows you to just travel around. But like moving to a new city now doesn't seem like a big deal at all. You know, in the past, if you haven't done it before, I get the first time there might be some reservations, but once you've kind of conquered moving abroad, the kind of world's your oyster in terms of opportunities moving away. So yeah, living in Manchester now. I'm working for a big insurance broker in the middle of the city, doing some digital marketing for them. Still playing football on the side. Doing some semi-pro football on Saturday now and loving it. Yeah, it's definitely different to be back in the UK, back to getting some big tackles again, and referees that don't take as much rubbish. But yeah, really loving it, mate. Loving Manchester.
Awesome, mate. It's great to hear you're up to good things. You know what I mean? Putting your degree and your football experience to good use. So, mate, just to finish up, really, we're just going to hit with a few quick fire questions, football based. Obviously, we get a bit New York in there. Obviously, we're a big New York advocate with me and you on this interview. So, right, coming in, I'm going to go away game or home game.
Away game, get up against the fans.
Yeah, up against the fans. Yeah, did some good traveling as well in the US, right? Obviously playing with Stack, played Boston, all up the East Coast.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we flew over, didn't we, a few times to South Carolina and stuff.
Yeah.
Went all over the place. So yeah, it was great.
I agree. Bottom field's nice, but it's nice to get away and see different states and play in different environments.
Absolutely nice.
Would you say Friday Night Lights or Saturday 3:00 kickoff?
Ooh, Friday Night Lights. I like a nighttime game under the lights. Something in the atmosphere, isn't it? It's a little bit different.
I agree, mate. I agree. So obviously you've travelled a lot in the US. What would be your favourite city? I think I might know your answer, but
mate, the Big Apple, without doubt. Best city in the world, Chaz.
I agree. New York, East Coast or West Coast?
I'm saying I haven't really been to the West Coast, so
a little bit biased.
I had a really good time on the East Coast, so East Coast.
There you go. So finish up a little bit in New York. I know you got into your sports over there. Yeah. Basketball, Knicks or Nets?
Got to be the Knicks, hasn't it?
I agree. MSG. We go baseball, Yankees or the Mets?
Yankees. Every day, Yankees. I mean, good thing about the Yankees as well, we went to a few, didn't we? The New York City FC playing the Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
we saw some amazing games there. Pirlo, Lampard, David Villa, Jack Harrison, who's obviously at Leeds now. We saw some really good games there. Vieira was manager.
Yeah, incredible.
Yankees are the traditional one, aren't they, for me?
Yankees, yeah. And last one, the other type of football, would you say Giants or Jets?
Again, Giants. I think it's all about the Giants.
Proper New Yorker, you are, mate.
That's it, mate.
There you go. Right, then, yeah, that's awesome. Thanks. Appreciate your time, Jack. Obviously, delve into your experience, what you've taken away from it, how it was when you were there, and what you're up to now. Just to sort of give some more information for the clients coming through next step. Yeah, thanks very much for your time, mate. Look forward to meeting up soon and see how you're doing.
Absolutely, mate. And I just end by saying again, I mean, just to touch on all the points that we have done, is somebody like Next Step and all the boys that are involved in it and stuff like that. And I know for a fact that they will go above and beyond. And I did have an all right experience. And I ended up in a city that I wanted to be at, a school that was really good and a great experience, but it was almost by chance. And I think for anyone considering going out there and doing it, if you kind of weigh, my advice would be 100% go for it and go with someone that you can trust and who's done it. And all the boys involved in the Next Step process have all done it themselves. So walk the walk and they're talking the talk. Now, coaching level, playing level, recruitment level, they've done it all. So yeah, thanks for your time, mate, and best of luck with everything.
Yeah, thanks very much, mate, and see you soon.
Perfect. Thanks, Charlie. Take care, mate.